whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity. Although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man have, will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. You may be seated. You may have heard about me. You may have read about me. But can't nobody tell my story better than I can. I was a righteous man. I lived the best life that I could live. I made sacrifices for myself, for my friends, and for my family. Yeah. And even though I lived the best life that I could, I still caught hell. I had no idea why I was going through what I was going through. Yeah. It seemed as if every time I turned around, one foot in front of the other, as soon as I took 1 foot forward, I took 10 steps back. And yet the situations that presented themselves is that I lost everything I had, and I lost it in the midst of praying to a God who I serve. While I was on my knees praying, in the midst of my prayer, I got a message that all of my sheep and my oxen and my asses were taken from me. Yeah. I fall back on my knees to pray again, and then I get another message that my flock and the herdmen of my flock had been killed, had been taken. Yeah. I fall back on my knees again, only to find out that my children had died as a result of it. And I don't know about you, but there are times in your life where you go through certain things that are beyond your control. But the only thing that I had to do was still just fall on my knees and say, for God I live and for God I die. righteous man. I was a rich man. I had everything that life could offer me. But it was taken from me without cause, without a reason. And I don't know about you, but there are situations in our lives where we'll encounter certain things and we ask the question, Lord, why is this happening to me? Well, I found out later on in life that it happened to me because God was being tested, and in the result of God being tested, God said that he had to test me. God set me up on a pedestal. He set me up so that it can be known that I was still a man that would hold my integrity. And the thing about the situation is that Satan asked God for permission to come against me. I didn't do anything to Satan, but Satan wanted my life. He wanted my children. He wanted everything that I had. And as a result of it, God said, go ahead and do whatever it is you need to do, but save his life. I don't know about you. You may not have lost anything. You might not have felt as if that you deserved the certain things that you've gone through in life. You may not have had a hard time in your life. You may not have gone through things where you've lost sleep at night, not realizing why you're going through what you're going through. But I'm here to tell you that God allows certain things to happen to us, and there's nothing that's going to happen to us that's beyond God's control. He tested me.
Yes, sir.
And as a result of him testing me, I was a righteous man. But I became restless, I became weary, I became weak, I became worn. And the troubles of life sometimes will get you down. The troubles of life will oftentimes have you doing certain things that's out of character. Now, I was an upright man, but I wasn't perfect. I still had my faults. But because in the midst of my faults, I still realized and remember who God was, what God had done for me, and God is still good even in a bad situation. I was reproached. I was criticized. I had 3 so-called friends that wanted to come and see me. And here was, I lost everything that I had, and they were supposed to be my friends. I had nowhere to live. I had no food. I had no sustenance. I had no way to make a living. I had no money in my pocket. But these so-called friends showed up empty-handed, and I don't need a friend who's supposed to be a friend that when I need something, I can depend upon. And when they showed up, all they did was showed up to criticize. They said that I'd gone through what I'd gone through because I'd sinned. And oftentimes we get misjudged in life based upon the outward things that we go through. And nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors. Nobody knows the hell that we're catching. Nobody knows the problems that we're going through. Nobody knows the difficulties that we have to face day in and day out. Nobody seems to understand. And that's why I don't worry about what people think about what I look like on the outside. Because nobody has a heaven or hell to put me in. It does not matter what I go through in life. It does not matter what people say about me. Because I'm still going to live for God. I'm still going to put one foot in front of the other. I'm still going to say, naked I came into this world, and naked I'll leave. But friends showed up empty-handed. And everybody talked about my wife because she said, curse God and die. My wife wasn't an evil woman. She heard it as much as I heard. She experienced exactly what I experienced. She had the same burdens that I had. But what it was that she was tired of me going through what I was going through, and she didn't have any way to help me. She didn't have any way to support me. She didn't have any way to give me any type of relief. And the only thing that she felt needed to be done was for me to just curse God and die, because it was better for me to die in peace than it was for me to live in hell. She was a good woman. But at the midst of it and in the end of it, she ended up going on about her way because she said that there was nothing else that she could do for me. There was nothing else that she could do for herself. And oftentimes when you go through the worst times in your life, there's nobody to be found. When you need a friend, when you need someone, when you need comfort, when you need an encouragement, Nobody's there to give it to you. And I found out that the reason why people aren't there to give you what you need is because they don't have it to give themselves. Sometimes they're going through worse situations than we're going through. And oftentimes we can't hold it against them when we can't get what we want from somebody. Because somebody don't have everything in the palm of their hand. Somebody don't have a cattle on 1,000 hills. Those people that we're dependent upon are barely making it themselves. So when you find your families and when you find your friends and it seems as if they're turning their backs on them, don't hold it against them. Forgive them. Go ahead about your business because God is still sitting on the throne. You're still a child of the King. He still loves you even in the midst of your misery, even in the midst of your mess, even in the midst of your maladies. God is still in control. And yet here we are. I suffered for everything that I've gone through. Yeah. And God told Satan to come against me. Yeah. To do any and everything that he could. Yeah. And I have to believe in my heart that God knew that whatever Satan threw against me because of who I am in him, that I could handle it. All right. And I want to stop long enough to say that regardless of what you're going through in life, regardless of how you think you can make it, regardless of you trying to give up and give in and throw in the towel, you can handle it because if God allows you to go through it, he's going to take you through it. But I found myself being one of the most admired people in the land. I found myself being one of the wealthiest people in the land. I found myself, everyone was coming to me. Not only was I a prophet, but I was a judge, I was a counselor. I was giving everybody everything that they needed. But when I fell on hard times, I was the talk of the town. I was the flavor of the month. And I found myself having to sit down on my ash heap. And my ash heap was a pile of humility. But not only was it a pile of humility, because of my outward condition, I was ostracized. And I was no longer allowed to even interact with the people of the society. Because of my condition, because of my leprosy, because of the outward appearance, and because of the inward things that were going on, people had to shun themselves from me. They didn't want to have anything to do with me. And all I had to do is I had to sit down on my ash heap. And in sitting down on my ash heap, I had become so burdened down. I had become so upset by the situation. Anything that was going on in my life, I had to look back over my life and I had to ask the question, why was I going through the hell that I was going through? And as I sat down on my ash heap, the only thing I could do was just sit there and just scrape myself. And I was scraping myself trying to get relief. And it's interesting that I thought that because I caused self-infliction, that it was going to make my situation better. How insane was it to cause pain to myself through drugs and through alcohol? I'm just scraping myself, sleeping with the wrong people, scraping myself, going to the wrong places, scraping myself, doing the wrong things, scraping myself, trying to get relief any way I can. And the more I scrape myself, the worse my situation got. And I had to find out the hard way that sometimes in life it gets worse before it gets better. So I scraped myself. And I want to tell you that I was righteous. I was rich. I was reproached. But I was also restored. And regardless of whatever it is that we go through in life, there is a restoration day. God is still able to restore everything that was taken because he gave me double. He gave me more than I could ever imagine. He gave me double children. He gave me double flock. He gave me double oxen. He gave me double asses. He gave me double servants. And he made my latter end greater than my former end. So yes, people talk about my suffering. But there was one who suffered more than I did. there was a baby boy who didn't know that he was going to have to put on human flesh. And at the age of 2 years old, everybody in the land wanted to commit murder against a baby boy. This baby boy grew up to be 12 years old. And in him being 12 years old, he had wisdom beyond those of the doctors of the land. At 12 years old, the question was asked of him, where somebody so young gets such wisdom and such knowledge and have not learned anything? After 12 years old, he ended up being grown in stature amongst men and in wisdom and in knowledge. After 12 years old, he decided that it was time for him to take his rightful place. He started a ministry where he turned water into wine. This was a man that suffered more than I did. He started a ministry where he opened blinded eyes. He called the lame to walk. He called the dead to rise up. He called the deaf to be able to hear. He suffered more than I did because there was a time in his life where he went to a place called the Garden of Gethsemane. And in the Garden of Gethsemane, he had to fall down on his knees because he knew that his time was near. He knew that his suffering was upon him. And he cried out 3 times, Father, if it be thy will, remove this cup from me. And there are some cups in our life that we have to drink of, but we have to have the mentality to say, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. He suffered because they took him to court and they had all these false witnesses to lie on him. He suffered because they marched him from judgment hall to judgment hall. They beat him all night long until his flesh and his blood shone. After his flesh and his blood shone, they had a man called Simon of Cyrene bear his cross. Must Jesus bear the cross of the Lord? And all the world go free. There's a cross for everyone. Lord knows there's a cross for me. They marched him up this hill called Calvary. They hung him on an old rugged cross. This man suffered, and as he laid there bleeding, he prayed, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I like that kind of God, because when we mess up, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't find out, that we didn't know what we were doing until we suffered the consequences. So after they hung him on this cross, he died. He gave up the ghost. He was buried the 3rd day. He rose the 3rd day. He ascended into the heaven. His suffering was far much greater than mine. And so while we talk about the suffering of Job, let us be reminded of the suffering of Jesus. And if I had to entitle this sermon because I know it's waiting on you, I have to tell you that there's also a Job in you.